Our 2014, and hopefully next year, God willing, be able to step back into that. So, by the time they actually get around to making the call to say it's time, I'm chomping at the bit. I've been chomping at the bit since 2 years ago. I've been chomping at the bit since Halo 4 came out. I can't wait to get back in. So it's always fresh and new and exciting to me. It's not like, oh God, I got to do this again. It's not like that at all. Plus, it's a whole new story. Sometimes it's new characters, and I'm as long as he's around, I want to be the guy speaking for him.
And have you started or finished your lines for Halo 5?
No.
No?
No, we have not.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hi there.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, maybe this is out of reach, but can you take a selfie with my phone in the crowd?
Can I what?
Can you take a selfie, like a selfie of yourself and the whole crowd with my phone?
I take terrible selfies. I think this is I think the same thing that's required of operating a video game controller is the same coordination involving taking. So my wife and I take the worst selfies in the world. One of us, our heads cut off, or we have some stupid look on it. So I tell you what, if somebody else wants to come up here and we'll take a shot, and can we do that? Anybody? Okay. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
And then I'll put it on my Facebook page. How about that?
Dang.
You'll all be on my Facebook page. There we go. Oh, the mini chief. Sure. Come on up here. I actually know the real mini chief. You ever seen him? The guy's great. In fact, the real mini chief's probably going to be mad. Okay, we're going to do this real quick, and I've got time for about 3 more questions. I'm sorry, and then we're going to go back and do some more autograph signings.
All right, guys, we're going to take a selfie with Master Chief. Put your hands up, stand up, get in this picture. Let's make it look wild. Show them how we do it here.
Thank you, Chief.
By the way, Cortana says hello.
All right. Hi,
Okay,
Master
your
Chief.
question. Yes, sir.
I was wondering if you could do a request.
A request, a dedication?
No, if you can recommend every Halo fan here into the Spartan program.
Could I recruit every Halo fan here into the Spartan program?
Yes, sir.
Wow. No. That takes a lot more work than I think all of us are capable of doing. But I think you're all honorary Spartans in one way or another, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
How's it going, Master Chief?
Good.
This is kind of a question, but more of a... The only thing that ever bothered me about the Halo series is that the way the game teases players about Master Chief's face.
Ah.
Yeah, it's like...
How they can you hear what he said about Master Chief's face?
Yeah, have you ever seen a concept image of his face? Or is it like, at the end, he's going to take off his helmet and it's going to be like an image, your image there or something?
No, I don't know that image exists. And here's my theory on that. Now, of course, the end of Halo 4, for all of you who got far enough, you saw his eyes. We did get to see that. Which is why I always wear sunglasses, because they took mine. What was I going to say? Oh, to me, I think this is part of the brilliance of the way Halo was designed, and among the many things that I think were were really well thought out, or maybe it was by accident, that you never do get to see Master Chief's face, and I hope you never do. I think the whole point of it is there are two things that are at work here. Number one is you never see his face, and number two, his shield is reflective. So when you look into his shield, what do you see? You see your face. And I think that was part, and I think it was also part of the reason why in the beginning Master Chief didn't have very many lines. They want you to inhabit the character. I chime in every once in a while when we have to get story-wise from one point to the other. But the whole, and I think in my own concept, my own theory, as to why Master Chief is so popular is because he lets you inside of him. You become Master Chief, and I think that's why he has become such an iconic character above so many other characters, is because you get to be, there is no preconceived notion of what he looks like, so you have to decide that. And if you want him to look like you, then he looks like you, or if you want him to look like, whoever, so it allows you, which is the beauty of video games anyway, because video games, unlike almost any other medium there is truly interactive. You get to decide what happens in the game, and movies don't do that, TV shows don't do that. I can't think of art doesn't. You get to decide how the game goes, who lives, who dies. And that's the beauty of it. And then on top of that, you have a character who is the protagonist that doesn't have a face. So you give him a face, and maybe it's yours, and maybe it's your mother's. I don't know, but I think that's part of the beauty of it. So my hope is that they never do reveal who he is.
Beautifully said, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. My question is, when you first started the first Halo game, did you have any idea that it was going to blow up the way it did? And if you had any idea, or at what point did you realize, okay, this is something beyond like everybody that's working here? Like, at what point did you realize that it was beyond that?
Well, I didn't have any idea. I don't think the Bungie people had any idea. And as the story I told earlier about discovering 6 months later the popularity of the game. But then even beyond that, through the years, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was mind-blowing to me that I played I had some small little role in this character who had become, the Superman of another, or the Batman of another generation. Back in my day, it was Superman, and it was Batman, and it was Spider-Man, and it was the Marvel characters that we all sort of, that grew into these icons. And the thing is, the fascinating thing is, and it's such a study of human nature, is that it's the same story that gets played over and over again, and it's the hero myth. And the hero myth goes back, to pre-Greek times, and yet it is the same story that goes on and on over the years, and he gets a different costume, and he gets in different adventures, but really it's the same story. And now, in the 21st century, that story is being told by Master Chief, and it's just, what is it about that story that we all, through the generations, connect with? I don't know. I don't have an answer for it, but I find it fascinating.
Okay, one more question. Is there anything that you can tell us about Halo 5? Anything?
You came late, didn't you? Because I said I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. And in all honesty, I really, we're the voice actors are sort of the last. It's one of the last pieces of the puzzle in the production of the game anyway. By the time we are brought in, like in the case of Halo 4, they did motion capture for what you saw on the screen. All the motion capture scenes were shot by the time Jen and I came in to record the parts. So all the movements, where he was going, what was happening, that was all done. And now we had to put the lines into that. So we're the last to be brought in on it. And I'm the last person they're going to tell anything that they don't want you to know because, well, you know, I might say something. And if they don't tell me anything, I can't say anything. So I really have no... I have no information for you on the direction of Halo 5, other than there is a new character that's going to be introduced, which I think you know. If anybody has seen the cover art for the game, we got a new guy. Is he a good guy or is he a bad guy? I don't know. But I will tell you this: if he's coming after me, he better be locked and loaded.
Thank you.
That didn't scare him at all, did it? All right, last question. Sorry, guys.
Just this.
Make it a good one.
All right. I don't know. Okay. Well, if someone like James Cameron or like a multi-billion-dollar director wanted you to star in their movie, and they were like, "Oh, it's going to be based on Halo, but you get like thousands, billions of dollars." And we just want you to voice Master Chief, and we're going to make it into a huge cinematic kind of movie, and it's going to be the next Avatar. It's going to make thousands in the box office. It's going to be great. We're going to sell out the game. Would you accept it, or would you be like, no, I'm going to reserve my Master Chief to people I know that started it and everything, like 343 and Bungie. So I just want to know, what would you do?
You think I'm crazy? Hell yes, I'd do it. But that's not going to happen. Microsoft owns and is very protective of the franchise, and nothing's going to happen without their consent. So that would never. I mean, the scenario you're talking about would never happen. So it's an impossible question to answer.
Great.
But you can try. If you want to offer me millions of dollars, fine. You know, let's see where it goes. But yeah, no.
All right. Well, thank you for answering my questions.
And while I have your attention here, I do want to take a moment to thank you all for I got to tell you that every time I go to a convention, I meet the greatest people and the nicest people and the most dedicated folks, and this one may take the cake, because I've gotten a chance to meet a lot of you, if briefly, and I really appreciate your dedication to the game and the kind words that you have for me. It's a minor role that I play in here, but it's a role that I take seriously. And I know you do too, and I can tell you we're all on the same page in terms of what we want out of Halo, and it's because of you that the game has become what it is, and you've given me, an unbelievable opportunity to fulfill a childhood fantasy. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I think we're going to do some more autograph signings back there for a little while, and again tomorrow. Have fun at the con. Is this a great con or what? Huh? This is fantastic. I just wish it was a little hotter outside. It's just not warm enough. Thank you, folks.